Yeah.
All right. George Kittle, Travis Kelce.
Ooh.
Would you rather? Who would you rather have at tight end right now, Lorenzo Reyna? Would it be George Kittle or Travis Kelce? And don't you be a homer because you're over there in the Bay Area.
No. I mean, I'm a fan of Kelce. I'm a fan of Kelce, but I want the guy who just destroyed the Super Bowl 50 MVP. I want the guy who's been on the tear catching 13 catches or 11 catches in another game. And at 28, he's in his prime. That's George Kittle. I mean, Kittle is clearly showing that he's playing his best football right now. I mean, Kelce, I feel like he could give you maybe 2 very good years, but then it's like at the age and at that position, I mean, how much more dominant can Kelce be? I feel like in the case of Kittle, I think that you're going to see not just this dominant year. I have a feeling like 5-6 years, we're going to be talking about George Kittle and the countless of Pro Bowls that he's had for a very long time.
Lorenzo?
Yes.
Sir, I have to say you are wrong. You are very wrong right now.
So are you going to accuse me of this?
No, you're not. I don't think you're high. I don't think you're high. Maybe
it's the
Powell and Ryan are high. Like you're just like buzzed. You know, they're full gone. They're full gone. I'm talking.
You were talking Homer with Lorenzo. I'd look at you with the Homer.
They're full gone. They're full gone. You know, George Kittle is a phenomenal player. Both guys are obviously phenomenal players. You obviously don't have a would you rather unless you're talking about 2 phenomenal guys. But if you ask me right now, who would I rather have? Now we do have to mention this. Travis Kelce did just land in health and safety protocols, so he did test positive for COVID-19. So that's a thing. And then also the other thing you have to consider is that Travis Kelce is 4 years older than George Kittle, so that's a factor, of course. So, but if the would you rather had been moving forward, who would you rather have? I probably would have taken Kittle because he's younger. But I'm going to tell you something. I watched Travis Kelce make some plays on Thursday night that I really don't think I've ever seen another tight end capable of making. So I've seen guys like Vernon Davis with unprecedented straight line speed at the tight end position. Like I don't think I've ever seen a tight end faster than Vernon Davis. I think he, even if you go to the 40 times, I think legitimately the fastest ever timed tight end in the history of the game.
He was a 4.3. He was a 4.3.
Kyle Pitts is not even as fast as Vernon Davis. Darren Waller's a freak. Okay. Antonio Gates was a whole different kind of freak, right? Tony Gonzalez. But Travis Kelce's ability to change direction and make plays after the catch, I have not seen another tight end capable of doing that. And I'm going to tell you, with this particular team, it's so especially valuable because Patrick Mahomes creates so many scramble opportunities and situations where you need a receiver, or in this situation, a tight end who's able to find that open space, make himself available, and he makes these plays that, okay, at the catch, for most tight ends, it's an 11-yard first down play, and you move the chains and you keep the drive going. Well, Travis Kelce is turning these into chunk plays that sometimes go the distance, and he's still playing at this level even at his age of 32. Like already this year in 14 games, he's probably going to miss at least one game dealing with COVID protocols. And it's really a shame because it's probably going to rob him of what would have been, or would he have a really good chance of having 2 consecutive 100 reception seasons. But he has 83 receptions, 1,066 yards, 7 touchdowns already this season. And here's a huge difference, and why I would take Kelce. Even though he's older, he's been far more durable than George Kittle. Like Travis Kelce doesn't miss games. He's missing this now because of the freaking pandemic, but he missed a game last year, played all 16 games in 2018 and 19, missed a game in 2017, all 16 games in 2014, 15, and 16. And then as a rookie, he only played in one game. So we don't even want to count that. But since 2014, Travis Kelce has missed 2 games. 2 games. If you consider how often he touches the ball, we're talking about a dude who just locked up his 6th straight 1,000-yard season. He has had at least 83 catches in each of the last 6 seasons, and he's missed 2 games at a impact contact position like tight end. I'm taking Travis Kelce. Durability, playmaking ability. I'm taking him over Kittle. That's who I'd rather have. What say you, Ryan Sanudo?
Yeah, I have to agree with everything you said, even though I think a week or two I said Kittle's probably the most complete tight end just because of his blocking abilities. But Kelce on offense, I don't think I have to say anything more. Just the way he cradles the football, he doesn't fumble. He doesn't, there were times probably years ago where, sometimes he would drop passes egregiously, but now he's just such a reliable guy for Mahomes. And that's why the Chiefs in a way really haven't gotten another wide receiver, even though I think they should in the future. They try to get McCole Hardman, in the draft, but Kelce is that guy where you really just forget about the wide receiver position after Tyreek Hill because you have Kelce every single time, and he's a great security blanket. They do screens with him. They get the third downs with Kelce. I mean, he's just such a reliable piece and weapon, and age doesn't really matter for Travis Kelce. I think he's such a special specimen that he's pretty much a guy that's almost like a LeBron of the tight end position, where he's going to age gracefully. And I don't know what they do with him in terms of his body. They hook up, some drugs or whatever, and they get right.
No, don't say that.
It's like the feed
right back on the field. Whatever.
Random drug test coming.
Yeah, man. Like there's just
The
something
feed of the night.
where like you think like maybe he's hurt or something, but he just bounces right back. And, Brian alluded to the games he's missed. I mean, it's incredible. So I don't think I have to harp on it too much. Kelce's my guy.
Definitely. And, Paul, I really, really want to know what you say about this, because I'm pretty sure you think none of them compare to Dustin Keller, but I just still.
This is true.
We have to find out what you say.
Okay. Well, with that being said, obviously Dustin Keller is number 1. So now we're arguing who's number 2. Who's number 2? So, I mean, with that being said, with all due respect, I got to say that, quite frankly, Brian, you stole a lot of my thunder here, but I'll tell you this, that George Kittle's made of glass. I want to ask you guys, obviously Kelce has played more seasons. Do you know how many times in Kittle's career he's had a full 16-game season? Does anyone know off the top of their head? Once.
Oh, once? Okay.
One time.
0.
Once. He's made of glass. If the doctors did surgery that checked him, whoa, bone's made of glass here. That's what he is. He is, as they say in the Christmas story, fragile, is Italian. That's what they are about Mr. George Kittle. And here's another fun fact. Now, we could trash Kittle all day. Let's jump over to Kelce. He has the most 1,000-yard seasons of any tight end in NFL history with 6. The next closest is a tie between a million guys with Jason Witten and Gronkowski and others. And what Brian said, so he is the most all time, and he's done it 6 times in a row. 6 times in a row. So not only does he has the most number, and it could have been over any number of seasons, it's consistent. 6 1,000-yard seasons in a row. That is exceptional. He's a Hall of Famer. Again, I have had the great pleasure of being alive at a perfect time of seeing all the really good tight ends from, Tony Gonzalez is one of my favorites all time. Antonio Gates, one of the greats all time. A super underrated, obviously, Jason Witten has the white man move. Whoop! He can just do a juke. I don't know how he jukes people. He has 0 speed, no moves, but he just does whoop. And guys fall all over the place. And me and my dad joked about it. Like, what the hell? What's that white man move that Jason Witten has? It just seems to work. But Jason Witten, obviously. Gronk, the physical freak. But Kelce just seems to have the perfect piece of everybody. That's what he really brings to the table. He has the speed, the athleticism. How many walk-off tight end touchdowns have you seen where he catches a ball, jukes people out, walks it in on Thursday Night Football to get such a key win against the Chargers, who totally blew that game? I mean, with all due respect, this may be one of the easiest questions I've ever answered on the history of this show. Kittle is made of glass. He's a cool guy. He's a wrestling fan. And, he's had a lot of time to do that since he's missed almost every game of his career. So he's had a lot of time to watch TV and do things of that nature. So sorry, Lorenzo. Sorry for your 49ers. But Kittle is third best. Keller, Kelce,
number one.
Speaking of WWE, Travis Kelce also has a wrestling doppelganger. His name is Mojo Riley. Now you tell me that doesn't look like Travis Kelce.
That's his bro.
Looks a lot like Travis Kelce. So it's a weird thing there, which means absolutely nothing. But I figured I'd say it anyway.